You know, you're probably wondering what this beautiful woman is sitting up here in her own chair for, aren't you? If you don't know, there's a beautiful woman sitting up here in her own chair. So we're going to go back to somewhere else because this is how I do things in an order. You think there's going to be an order? There's none with me. This is Martine Cannon. She lives down by Lingfield. Still do. I think it's in that area. This woman I love with all my heart. I can't even fully express it without getting emotional. She's a woman who would come from England every other week for a long time, and we would work together. She's just been through a little challenge of stuff that she can't be hugged by me. You know, she's been in some way to have surgery that if I grab her, it might not be good. When the way I grab could hurt somebody when I hug somebody. So she's sitting here, so don't come up and bump into her or do something. She is the person that Amy was talking about that came to the funeral of her mom and dad. That was our first coaching experience. It was the day I'm going to be coaching her. They died. We don't know when that's going. I told her. She said, we can cancel it. I said, no, you don't need to cancel it. Just come and spend all day with me. I mean, imagine the relationship I have with this woman. That's a coaching session that's basically all day long. And then every other week for 18 months, 2 years. She is as talented as any female I've ever met. I was that far, maybe we want to turn the tape off. I was that far from having her marry one of my best friends. And man, he would have won the lottery with this woman. So this is my good friend, a woman I love with all my heart, Martine Cannon. If you're up here, keep a little space from her. Sorry, I didn't. If you had been where I could have seen you, I would have acknowledged you, but you're just sitting right there. I love you. So I'm going to talk a minute about something that's possible. It's not true. You may have another idea of it. But what's possible is that being is literally everything we need to know about. Like the lowest common denominator of life is like, wow, who am I being? And very few people are other than this conversation is happening much in the world, or they're saying it, have no idea. It's like, okay, that's, whoo. But being as a possibility, I'm going to make it really simple so we can see it, so I can tell you something else that you can hear. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear me. Pretend that everything you ever do is because of who you're being. Everything you ever do is because of who you're being. So let's just say I'm being really, really, really loving. If it's true that all doing comes out of being and I'm being loving, what kind of doing would I do? Louder? Loving. And if all doing comes out of being and I'm being an a-hole, what kind of doing do you think I'd do? A-hole doing. You want to just slow it down. It's not complicated. You go to a 70-week course, do this, do that, get being, get some access to your life, take that book, read about yourself, do a process on yourself, sign your own book, write your own vignette, and start being. Because you can't trick it. All doing comes from being. There is no doing that does not come from being. Can you picture an apple coming with, there's no tree, there's just an apple shows up. That's not going to happen. Being is the seed of all doing. Everything. If you're looking there in a relationship or you got some problem over there, ask yourself one question. Guess what the question is? Who am I being? Who am I being? Who am I being? Forget about looking over there. Just ask you, who am I being? Because see, when I'm with my wife, if I'm being an a-hole or I'm being not kind, I know it would be hard for you to believe I could do that. It happens frequently. What kind of doing am I going to be doing? I'm going to be doing exactly what I'm being. You can't trick it. Simplify your life. Can you hear that? If I take an avocado seed and I plant it, what's my likelihood a pineapple is going to come out of it? 0. If I take a walnut and plant a walnut seed, what's the odds I'm going to get an oak tree? 0. The law of being is as consistent as the law of nature, that seed produces the fruit. If you have 2 blacks or 2 whites or 2 Japanese or 2 anything, and they get together, me and my wife get together, and we have a little yellow child, red child, or whatever child, you're going to be freaking out because the seed's not there. If let's say 2 black people got together, and they have a little white dude that looks like me, we got a problem over there. Because that's the seed's not going to produce the fruit. Being is everything. If there's somebody there offended I didn't say your race or get the right one in, put what race did you like in. Oh, that's not very positive, is it? I'm trying to have you see, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what you believe. I care who you're being. And I want you to get this. Guess who's in charge of your beingness? You are. That's something some of you don't believe. So you think it's out there in your spouse. You think it's out there in somebody else. You want a wake-up call today? You're the one responsible for your beingness. You don't believe me? I'll give you examples that'll blow your mind. It's going to take a little time, but it will blow your mind. And you're the one choosing your being. Never not. It only looks to you like that did that, so I'm like this. I lost that job, I did this. Who you're being will shift that.